When you're involved in a race to stop a horrible disease, you always feel you're not doing things quickly enough.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, we all know his name, but how much do we know about the man who's been a polarizing figure in this pandemic?
Emmy-winning directors Janet Tobias and John Hoffman, they do join us this morning to now discuss their National Graphic documentary on Dr. Anthony Fauci. It debuts today on Disney+. So Dr. Fauci has become a love-hate public figure, depending on who you're asking. How did this documentary go? Did it go the way as planned?
John, you want to start?
Well, they never go as planned. Life always throws you curveballs, and you have to be prepared for that when making any kind of film, any documentary. But we knew going into making this film that we were telling the story about one of the most important public servants in our nation's history, one of the longest serving public servants, and someone who has led the fight for over 40 years against the great pandemics that this nation has faced, most importantly, HIV/AIDS and now COVID. And we felt that after Dr. Fauci emerged as this figure that the entire nation knew about, that it was important that they also know the history of this great scientist.
I watched the trailer this morning and I love just seeing the raw emotion coming from Dr. Fauci. Was there anything that surprised you when you made this documentary and really got to know him?
I think Dr. Fauci, the more you get to know him, you realize that he is a unique combination of head and heart. He is laser focused on the science and also on being a good scientifically based physician, because he thinks of himself as a doctor first. But he wears his heart on his sleeve. That he also is a doctor first, thinking always what it means to an individual person to be sick or be at risk, or what it means to be to a family or a community.
And what do you hope people watching this will learn or even take away from the film? It sounds like there's a lot packed into just a short amount of time.
Yes, we made hopefully what people will see as a really complete portrait of this man. We want people to learn that Dr. Fauci is a scientist who is doing everything he can to save the lives of Americans and people around the world, and that he's part of the National Institutes of Health, which is the largest funder of basic medical science in the world by far. And that this is something that this nation created. We created, coming out of World War II, an institution that was there to benefit all of humanity. Dr. Fauci, for 40 years, has led the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases. And this is something that we should all be remarkably proud of, and that we are so proud to tell the story of a man who leads with the science, who bases everything he says on the evidence and the science, and that there is absolutely nothing controversial about that.
Yeah, a man who's under an immense amount of pressure, yet still comes off as such a good guy. Again, that documentary premieres today on Disney+. Janet and John, thank you so much. Can't wait to watch this.